tobacco can give you more life. Learn more at quitnow.ne.gov. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired in association with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
There's no better way to spark a child's imagination than to get lost in the adventure of a good book. I'm Jenny Benson, president of NSEA. Working together, parents and teachers can help every child succeed. You can help by reading to your child and let your child read to you. Encourage reading in your home and make it a priority. Make reading fun and a time that you and your child look forward to spending together.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
We've been hunting these fields north of Kearney since high school. My buddy Ryan has always been my wingman, the life of the party. But I saw a change, and he got really down. Talked about his life being worthless.
If you know someone who's struggling, talk to them about temporarily storing their guns away from their home, taking care of friends and neighbors. It's what we do in Nebraska. Paid for by the University of Nebraska Public Policy Center, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket. Every Saturday morning now in our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Derek Pearson, brought to you by Canopy Street Market.
Yes, sir. On a Tuesday, late night ticket here in Lincoln, Nebraska. We thank you for hanging out with us, whether you're in the car, whether you're riding back from the state volleyball championship, whether you're just on your late shift, whether you're just chilling out at home, maybe you're just getting done watching the Royals, maybe you're just getting done watching Husker volleyball.
Yeah, come back from Omaha.
You know, that ride back, that celebratory ride back, and there's lots to talk about when it comes to the Huskers. 402-464-5685. If you got something to say, something on your mind, let us know what you're doing.
Yeah, we are live back on the brick and mortar as well. Royals, not a great night. I was telling the people before, this is why it's good to have the ticket app. Even if you're a diehard Royal, sometimes you might want to just switch it locally, catch a little breather, and then check back in a couple innings.
Yeah, I mean, it becomes its own thing. But we're discussing the undefeated folks. Of course, it's been a busy day all around sports in this space that, again, the Huskers have been doing some pretty incredible things in sports.
Well, the soccer team versus Minnesota, they were down 0-2. That was a gutsy comeback. I think there was less than a minute left on that last goal.
Yeah, it's a miracle play to pull that out and to do that. But again, Nebraska football is sitting at 3-0. Nebraska soccer still undefeated. And then, of course, tonight in Omaha, the number 1 ranked Husker volleyball team improved to 9-0 on the season. They win the Nebraska State Volleyball Championship by knocking off number 18 Creighton.
Never lost to them. Why would we today?
I wonder when you get that. Well, this was 5 sets.
It was close.
This was back and forth. Good for business.
Yes.
Good for the conversation. Andy Jackson was incredible. Of course, there were several players who played just absolutely off the charts, and we'll go through some of the numbers here as well. 25-17, 21-25, 25-18, 24-26, and then 15-9 in the rush to 15 in the 5th set. A sellout crowd at CHI Health Center, and I can tell you what those nights are like for volleyball. Being there for a sellout, that is not their norm. So Creighton can't really claim that. The official attendance for the match at 17,675, an NCAA record for an indoor regular season volleyball match.
Probably a lot of red in there.
Oh, I did a check. They averaged 2,700. They normally average 2,700.
Okay, so there's your metric right there.
Folks can, well, you have to give a baseline for it. And folks can, check it. Again, this is a top 20 program. We're not talking about
18 Creighton.
And
a volleyball loving state.
Yeah, we understand all of that. But again, the numbers direct from Nebraska Athletics and Nathaniel Poland sending this over. But the 17,675, an NCAA record for an indoor regular season match. Of course, the Huskers improved to 9-0. This is their final non-conference match before Arizona. Arizona will be the final non-conference before they jump into the Big Ten. Sidebar, that Arizona, Saturday's opponent, lost tonight.
Ooh.
In 4 sets to UTEP.
The UTEP Miners.
To UTEP at home. At home. So there's that. There's that in play. Of course, Harper Murray led 17 kills and 10 digs. Virginia Adriano, 13 kills on 320 hitting. A couple of aces. Andy Jackson, 13 kills, hitting 400. She's hitting George Brett numbers.
I was going to say.
With 4 blocks. And Taylor Landfair, who was just exceptional in the necessary runs, added 12 kills. Rebecca Alec with 7 kills herself. Bergen Riley recorded 43 assists and 19 digs. Big-time double-double. She moved to number 6 in school history in career assists. In the rally scoring era, passing Rachel Holloway. Olivia Malk had a career high 16 digs. Nebraska hit 250. Creighton hit 173. Ava Martin led the Blue Jays with 16 kills. Saturday, set 1, Nebraska did their thing. They ended the set with an ace. Landfair with a kill, Jackson with an ace to end the set. They win at 25-17. Creighton jumped out to a 3-0 lead and, quite frankly, never looked back in set 2. They got up big. Nebraska fought back. Got within 22-21. Then Creighton ran out to a 25-21 win in the second set. Some changes were made. Adriano and Jackson got it going. Alec and Murray started to pick it up. Creighton had 4 points in a row. Nebraska got up by 10. Third set, Creighton goes on a 4-point run, gets close, 22-16, and then the Huskers finish it at a 25-18. Set number 4. Back and forth. Nebraska was up 15-11 in the 4th set. Blue Jays got on a 5-1 run, tied it to 16. They were tied at 20, tied at 22. And then the Blue Jays finished it out at 26-24 to win set number 4. And then Creighton started the set with back-to-back aces. Whoops, down 2-0. And then Adriano tally 2 kills. Huskers get even. Alec, Jackson, and Murray got it going for the Huskers. They spread the lead to 11-8. They get up to 13-8 after Alec with a kill. And then Creighton hits long for match point. They win it on an Alec kill 15-9. And again, the Huskers then host Arizona 8:00 at John Cook Arena at the Bob Devaney Sports Center. I'll have to keep remembering to say it that way. I will do my best. Along the way, we will have a post-match show Saturday after Huskers Arizona. What we imagine is that the regular post-game, the Jay Foreman post-game immediately following, sometime we'll go probably till 7.
It should roll right into each other, right? Because 2:30 kickoff.
Close.
Okay.
Close. We don't know. I would imagine an hour and a half into for the match, which will run it to 9:30. If we're here, we'll probably just stay on air and then roll over to a post-game show that sets up a series of post-match call-in shows and text-in shows. So you have the same ability to do that. We're also going to work on getting signs for outside for Husker Nation for fans.
That would be fun.
Just to, we'll figure out what to write on it. I've got chalk coming and chalkboards. It'll all be in a little of this, a little.
Keep an eye out on the corner on 1040 O Street. Might be some, even if you're just driving by, you might see some Yahoos having some fun.
Yeah, I mean, the thought was, do I put dance out there? Do we put a speaker out there so folks can hear what we're talking about?
I think you want a speaker, right? Because you want to know that we're talking about them. Because if we're not talking about them, they might just stand there.
Right. To not know what is actually going on. But yeah, there's lots of detail in space. Major League Baseball, of course, we're talking about the Royals and them not having a good night. Yeah, it was a tough night. There are still some games going on. The Braves and Nats are in the 10th inning in DC, which I can imagine that at 11 o'clock at night they're ready to go home in DC. They got stuff to do. The Astros and the Rangers are having a back and forth. It's 6-5 in the top of the 9th. Rangers batting with a chance to tie it up. They have a run to tie and runner on first with 1 out in the top of the 9th. Marlins lead the Rockies 6-0. The Rockies just can't wait for this thing to end. Please let it end. The Giants making a bid to move up in a playoff run. They're tied with the D-backs 5-5 in the middle of the 6th inning. But those teams are a game apart. So that game has meaning. I keep saying it's a playoff preview. But the Dodgers and Phillies are going at it again. The Phillies clinched their division last night. Tonight, it's Shohei Ohtani on the bump. And let's just say he's got it rolling. The Dodgers lead it 3-0 in the 4th. And I'll say it, the Phillies don't have a hit yet.
I just saw that. 0 hits.
Yep.
And Dodgers got 4 hits, 3 runs.
Yep. They're doing their thing. The Guardians knock off the Tigers 7-5. Cubs and Pirates. Cubs get a 4-1 win. Again, they're doing themselves a favor. The Red Sox lose to the Athletics, and that's, again, your ability to finish just matters, man. The Mets and the Padres battling, again, 2 playoff teams going at it 8-3. The Mets win that one. The Rays fall to the Blue Jays 6-5. Mariners knock off the Royals 12-5. The Orioles knock off the White Sox 8-7. In the first game of the doubleheader, Braves knock off the Nats 6-3. Reds fall to the Cardinals 3-0. Angels fall to the Brewers 9-2. And the Yankees knock off the Twins 10-9. Now, it's a playoff run. We'll have some more of this conversation tomorrow. And the beauty of it is that, on a Wednesday when it's a getaway day. So you'll have 4 early games. Actually 5 early games. And then the Royals We'll play at their regular time, 6:40. So
we'll 6 o'clock here again.
Yeah, so we'll get live and get busy with that. But I'm always curious about teams' ability to finish their season and how you figure out how to get in the playoffs. But we'll cover that in the next couple of hours as well. I did want to go through. This is when you also get. You start getting reports. You get more data and we get more data now than ever before in this business. I can say to you, with full clarity, we get more details from sports information directors now than we ever have before. And you can overconsume.
Yeah.
Some of these things, here are a few things.
Okay.
Let's go down the rabbit hole, shall we?
Yeah. Elbow deep. Let's do it.
Yep. So Michigan's on a 4-game win streak against the Huskers. 4-game win streak. The last win for the Huskers was 2013 in a 17-13 win at Ann Arbor.
I was listening to Austin Norman too go into it. He was was the Big Ten opening to Big Ten opponents. Michigan has got some crazy streak going.
Yeah, you get to go down. This is, as we say, this is one of those helmet games where you literally don't have to say much. You put the helmets on the screen. Everybody knows what you're talking about, who you're talking about, and what can be expected.
Quick side tangent. Michigan helmets, are those like best helmets in college football territory or no?
Okay, so I understand that conversation. Iconic, yes.
Okay. For me, it's no. Iconic, yes. Not the best.
It's not the best because we don't understand it.
Yeah, I mean, there's that. I'm just the Michigan.
I don't know. Okay, so if you said to me the Golden Dome, like the Golden Domers, woof, like shining them every single game is unique and iconic, except Navy did it too. And who polishes better? Navy. Naval Academy sure, or Notre Dame, right? Air Force in the Lightning Bolt. Right? The Lightning Bolt.
I think we've talked about this before. Maryland's got some sneaky helmets from time to time.
Well, Maryland, see, there are people who really dislike Maryland's whole uniform chaos.
The flag I thought was kind of cool when they were going down that road.
But Terps to me is still the best. Just the scripted Terps.
It is nice.
Like
I like
just,
it.
I mean, they're great colors, right? It's the right red. You can go back to the days of the white shell with the red M.
Oh, that's clean.
Right? That was clean. With the turtle holding the football in the middle of it. Right? Bravo.
Iconic mascot.
Right? Penn State with just the numbers.
Florida State's helmets to me always kind of hard to beat.
It
those.
popped. But listen, let's not be bad. But Texas, the Longhorns.
I know it's good.
And I'm not mad at A&M. I'm not mad at A&M.
Bama's kind of got a soft spot for me too. The way they put the numbers on there.
Plain Penn State plain, right? I mean, so I think that's its own division.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
That's its own division of playing with, like, you could put Notre Dame plain helmets in the discussion. We're not anti-plane, but it just is.
Nebraska fall in the plane.
Nebraska falls in iconic.
Like, as an outsider, I wonder what you think of the Nebraska helmets.
Well, if you're looking, so in front of us, we have a lot to digest when it comes to helmets.
And that one in the middle is beautiful.
It is gorgeous.
It is
gorgeous.
I'll put that sucker on sometimes.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. But if I'm telling the truth, that black one over there with the red end, that is grown man. That is grown man football helmet right there. That is a grown man football helmet right there. Yes, sir.
So the camera can see which one we're even talking about right now.
That is a grown man. Now, if you were to just go with the black, Now, here's the thing. The red on red that they wore last week, you could still wear that helmet with the red on red.
Okay, now you're cooking a little bit.
Right?
There. I like it. But then the white stripes would look weird, but you could figure out.
Yeah, I'm not bothered by that.
Okay.
Like, I'm not bothered by that. Because
I would like this more with the white. The white.
But you could go red on red with the black helmet.
I'm thinking black and white and then red trims.
Yeah, I mean, you could go black shirt helmet if you so chose.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be fine with it. The worst one is the last one we added, which was the all black, the black one here that with the chrome face mask. But if you were going to rank, and that's the thing we could do, is to rank Nebraska helmets. And the NU has some real value to me.
They kind of shook that thing off a little too quick for me.
Right.
The NU was one of the. Do we have that one here? I think we do.
Yeah, it's right there.
That one. This one is. I love this helmet.
The white one with the NU. I think if it had the red face mask, it would set in its own space.
Yeah, bear with me for the cameras. This is not a Speed Revolution. This is I don't even know what helmet this is. Older one, but you get the idea of the NU on the side there.
Yeah, and if it had the red face mask, okay, talk to me. Right, that helmet with the red on red.
Now we're cooking a little bit here.
Right. See, this is when you go with me, right? But I would also be okay with the black on black with this white helmet with the N.
Like that one a lot too.
Right? That would look sexy.
The things that I don't like what we do is when we try to chrome it up. We're not Oregon or Nebraska.
I don't like, see, I got that helmet because it was actually one of theirs. So I that's why I got it. Right?
Well, yeah, and you kind of have to.
But
I mean, that was a deal.
Now, if you really wanted to throw it back, this one in the middle with the number on it, the red with the white number.
Mm-hmm.
And then make sure that everybody wore the old face mask.
With just a crossbar?
Oh, that
was my first helmet in Pee Wee.
Give me those. Give me the single bar for quarterbacks, like Dylan Raiola out there with a single bar.
That would be awesome.
Get me out there with Emmett Johnson's got the 2 bar,
mm-hmm.
right? The linemen can still, but they need the old fashioned 4 bar.
Yep.
Right. I don't need the full cage. Although I understand, maybe defensive line. You get the Deacon Jones, LA Rams.
You 4 bar it. That is the
6 bar. You can go 6 bar.
Okay.
You can go 6 bar. But you don't need, like this one here. Like that's the 6 bar.
Mm-hmm.
The NU has the 6 bar on.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This is iconic. Like I'm just playing old school football back in the day.
Yep. You can let your tackles on either side, right? Where? But the middle linebackers have to have the 4 bar. You need the, you do. And I'd be with that.
I would love to. You know how many people would have eyes on those uniforms just to see the old face? What do you remember your first helmet? I feel like everyone remembers the first helmet they had.
Listen. I am still scarred.
Yeah. What is this thing?
Scarred. I am scarred. So, my first year playing, I played for the Black Knights, the mighty Black Knights. So imagine Army, but black and gold.
Okay, I like the colorway.
Black and gold. Steelers, Army, but we were the Black Knights.
Okay.
So they would often use the Army logo, right? But Black Knights.
Mm-hmm.
And as when you were young, so I want to say 65 pound. So when you're 8, maybe
ours was just like 8,
7 or 8, 7 or 8, 7 or 8, 8 or 9, whatever it was. They didn't even give you the gold pants. You wore white pants. You wore white. In year 1, you wore black jerseys, gold numbers, white pants. So angry. So like you knew it was wrong. You knew it was wrong.
Well, and you're probably gotten some that you're wearing the white pants and they're baggy. They don't have the right size measurements.
Wrong size have been handed down.
Sharing knee pads.
For generations. You had the knee pads that you had to slide into the pants.
That's what we had. It was a pocket, race to get did you have the race to get the nice pads?
Yes. It was a battle. If you were a starter, you got to go first.
Mm-hmm.
I was not a starter at age 8. And then they had the snap-on hip pads,
Mm-hmm.
right? With the 2 buttons, you can pop them suckers in, right? And then the butt pad that you snapped in as well. Then the next year you would advance because, yes, you had the snap-on, but we went to the gold pants. Now, year 1 helmet looked like a space helmet. You know the bubble ears? You know the helmets with the bubble ears? They look like baseball helmets, but they were football helmets with the bubble ears, man. Harrison.
What year is this? I'm going to see if I can find these helmets.
1970, 1969, 1970, somewhere along those lines. There is a bubble helmet. It looked like a space helmet. It looked like you belonged to. Oh, this thing was horrible. And the next year, you went to traditional helmets. But that first year, it was a bubble helmet. Big ears, man. Huge ears. And you had no padding in them. It was just straps that leaned on your head. There was no protection in this thing, man. Like, there's no protection in this thing. I'm going to find it for you.
Oh, man. They're showing me the interior of it.
Oh, the interiors were horrible.
You're right. It's just straps.
It was just
2 ear cushions and straps. No extra padding.
You wonder why your grandparents are scarred. Your granddads played in those helmets.
Cut him some grief from now and then.
Oh man, really do. Because it was.
Yeah, we didn't have that bad.
And the baseball helmets, batting helmets were just as bad. They were the same thing. These things would flop around on your head. It was just, and of course, a black kid, right? It wasn't really made for afros, right? So you kind of had to deal with that along the way. So there was no protection, and I celebrated getting a traditional helmet without the bubble ears because they had the weird face mask. So 2 skinny bars and the 1 single Texas Longhorn bar from across, like down across the nose. Those things were horrible. They were horrible. It was, these were terrible helmets. Like, these were 1960s helmets. These were not 70s helmets. These were, because you can go back to 70s and you can look at the Steelers and the Browns, and you didn't see any of that. You didn't see any of that. You go back to the Redskins, you don't see any of that, right?
You guys are catching up, though.
Oh, we were so far behind. So far behind that it was terrible. And I'm pretty sure Texters have a whole series of horror stories about the uniforms. We played in, okay. You know how hot it gets here in Nebraska in the summer?
100 and sticky.
100 and sticky. Can you imagine your dad and your grandfather playing Little League Baseball? First of all, the spikes that they wore, these were coal miner shoes with spikes at the bottom, bro. These things, these were. You
need them for work tomorrow.
This is why you were slow. This is why we were slow. Because these shoes were not made for convenience it was sturdy. As a matter of fact, look up spot-built football shoes. Spot-built football cleats. These things were terrible. And then a lot of folks would wear the high tops still, the black high tops, but spot-built. These were not sexy. These were the most unsexy. Oh my goodness.
These are coal miner boots.
Bruh,
they're work boots.
When I tell you, like, you watch film of Johnny Unitas playing football in the 50s and 60s, and it looks like everybody was slow because they were carrying 8-pound shoes.
These look like
they were running
pounds.
in 8-pound shoes.
We'll wait for it to get on TV. I'll see if I got the right ones, but these are full-on work boots.
Horrific, bro. Those things
are ugly.
And let me tell you, it was tough. And if you ever got stepped on by one of these, straight to the bone.
Were they steel-toed? They look like they're steel-toed boots.
These things were horrible. These things were horrible. And then when they finally went to low top,
they have some low top. I'll pull one of those up as well.
Oh, these were, Harrison, you do not understand the horror of these uniforms. The equipment, when you talk about the evolution of the game, it's mainly equipment and nutrition. Like, you eat better and because you have better equipment. Like we could hear the shoulder pads when we ran because they were two sizes too
clicking.
big. They were just two sizes too big. I will send you a picture of my high school picture. Yep, those horrible shoes. And it happened. When you look at the old spot built, the old shoes that they would wear for baseball, again, don't know how Lou Brock stole a base. No idea. No idea. Don't know how it happened. I just want to tell you, you could go through. I will send you my 1978. I will share a picture with you of me, the team picture for the game programs. Now, mind you, our game jerseys hadn't arrived. So we had to wear our practice jerseys in the team picture. And I want to tell you, these were the 3/4 length.
So we're in long sleeves for your team pictures?
Long sleeve with the elbow patches in and the biggest shoulder pads you've ever seen in your whole entire life. I'm going to go pull it. Harrison will share it when we come back.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
We've been hunting these fields north of Kearney since high school. My buddy Ryan has always been my wingman, the life of the party. But I saw a change, and he got really down. Talked about his life being worthless.
If you know someone who's struggling, talk to them about temporarily storing their guns away from their home, taking care of friends and neighbors. It's what we do in Nebraska. Paid for by the University of Nebraska Public Policy Center, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
They're too young to vape.
E-cigarettes are the most used tobacco products among youth.
They know vaping is dangerous, don't they?
The majority of youth who vape use flavored products, the kind designed to seem harmless.
If they were vaping, I'd be able to tell.
Many vapes are small, discreet, and resemble everyday items. Don't avoid the conversation. Talk to your kids about vaping. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska, aired in association with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and the station.
Welcome back, race fans, to the finish line every Sunday night. I'm James Rowland. Join Bree Marie and me every Sunday from 7 to 8 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket FM or theticketfm.com for the finish line. All the latest news for local and national motorsports, all in one place, 93.7 The Ticket FM.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
This is where it happens.
long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zipline gliding, rock face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're listening to One on One with DP, brought to you by Canopy Street Market on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Late night, 402-464-5685. You want to join in? You can. You're invited in. So Harrison, I was trying to explain, right? And trying to explain to people that the equipment evolution was necessary. It was absolutely necessary. Now, mind you, when you look at that picture, that is a long sleeve football jersey. That's some stuff that like the Steelers wore, like the Cowboys wore before they were the Cowboys. They wore these when they were the Texans. And 15 years later, my high school's still wearing them. They're still wearing them. And to put these on kids, right? This was atrocious. These were terrible. These were terrible uniforms. And you try to humble yourself. And then the other story was that for all the old heads out there, and again, you can ask your dad, probably your granddad. Mm-hmm. Your dad probably got in the polyester year. Look at that. Jeez, those are shoulder pads. And I promise you that my 280-pound left tackle wore the same shoulder pads.
Those are first man off the bus pads right there.
And if you look, somehow I managed to get the sleeves to at least roll up above the elbow.
You did roll them up. You can see where you just started rolling them.
And to try to get those things on. Now, you remember, these are in two-a-days.
How tall were you think?
I'm the same height.
Same height?
Same height.
Oh, man, those things would go. I'm just thinking how ridiculous you'd look if you didn't roll them up.
Didn't roll them up. And
we had
people who didn't. And we got we got polyester jerseys that year, which I was still thrilled with.
Yeah,
but
big upgrade.
But not really.
The polyester compared to the cotton long sleeves?
Compared to the cotton long sleeves. Again, those are black and white.
And cotton and long sleeves.
Right. So then the polyester come along, which they actually had stripes.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Look, so I'm going to send you this one of Barry, because Barry and I were sat side by side in the team picture. So I find that humorous. We both laugh about it. Okay. So there's Barry and I, and he's got the full sleeve thing happening. And this is our quarterback. This is our star quarterback who's wearing the long sleeves, which not winning. That's not conducive to.
You never want your QB in the long sleeves when he's throwing the ball. Doesn't seem great for QB to have.
They didn't really want Barry throwing the ball, which was a whole other thing that we can argue about later. That Barry will tell you the story. When we finally got the polyesters, and then next year we got the mesh. But it wasn't not the Husker mesh, but the 80s mesh. Right? A little bit different. Certainly more breathable. Looked more Cowboys-ish.
You're going to have to bear with me when I share the one with you, people on Barry. It's pixels aren't plentiful.
No.
But you can. I zoomed in enough. So
no, it is really just you trying to explain to people what we went through. We made sacrifices for the game. Let me just say that.
Barry didn't roll them up.
No.
Bold move.
Right? Isn't that hilarious?
You're the face.
Isn't that hilarious?
You roll out with long sleeves. I don't know why the long sleeves just make me laugh the most out of it. Just for some reason, I've just never imagined the idea. Like, why the hell were they tailoring them that long?
Well, but I mean, the Johnny Unitas Colts, they all wore long sleeves. The Vikings wore long sleeves.
And the NFL,
the Lions, well, because you were playing in 6 degrees.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, you get some cold games out there.
Look, we weren't playing on artificial turf, and we weren't playing in domes. So, yes, you kind of got what you got. You kind of got what you got. And we tried to make it work. You tried to be stylish. Didn't work. Wasn't really a thing. And then they got us. Okay, so I'll send you the when they finally got meshy, but we still had the offensive lineman
shoulder pads.
Right?
Pads are the ones that come last. Helmets and pads.
And this was the day I was really mad this day because so in all the previous pictures, I had the luxurious full fro.
Oh, you hacked it.
My coach. So my afro was a week before this. It was as long as it had been. And I started wearing it in cornrows for football practice.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I didn't want to, you didn't want it. It was too hot to have it. You found out your head cooled off much easier if you wore it in cornrows. And especially during tour days. And my coach asked me how I intended on wearing it during games. And I was like, just like this, with a bandana, kind of Tupac-ish. And he's like, nope, not going to do it. I'm like, Coach, I don't think you can demand that I cut my hair. I don't think you can. So he calls my mom and he says, we're having senior pictures.
Oh, he's setting you up.
We're having senior pictures next week. You might want Derek to cut the afro. My mom was like, yeah, he's going to be in a suit. Yeah. So literally that morning before practice, I went and got a haircut. And they took my senior picture and the team picture. You could see on my facial expression, I was not happy about this. Was
the fro just not cool yet, or what was going on?
The fro was cool, but it wasn't. I'm at the whitest school possible. I mean, it's me and Barry Thompson, man.
Blend in, DP.
Oh, it's me and Barry Thompson, right? And the afro was okay. It was the fact that I started wearing it cornrowed because it was, in order to keep an afro, you have to braid it and take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, during tour days, 3 weeks of tour days, that's 2 practices a day in 100 degrees heat. You don't want to wear the afro, go home, have your sister braid it after 6 hours of football practice. Braid it, rest, get up, take it out, go to practice, ruin it, come home, braid it every day. So I just braided it and said, okay, Coach, let me at least get through 2 days wearing it. And he was like, that's fine, but come picture time, you got to. And but this was also the same coach that, so the rest of the team wore black shoes. Now, Barry led the revolution of guys who wore Pumas, black Pumas with the white stripe, right? Which looked really good.
Yeah, that's not too far off
good.
Either.
That's a good look. That's a good look, right? Imagine the Cowboys of the 70s, those uniforms. Blue, cowboy blue, silver breeches with blue and white stripes down the side. But they had, man, the worst socks. Horrible.
You had socks part of the uniform?
The thick, so white socks. But once you got to the calf, you had thick blue and silver stripes. Thick ones. They were terrible.
Did you guys have to wear the socks?
Oh, he told us we had to wear it.
Really?
But I was diabolical. Okay, so Harrison, this is what level of subterfuge. This is when I knew I was going to be different. Because he said, okay, they did the uniform check. before you went out for warm-ups. So warm-ups, I'd wear the black Pumas with the game socks, air quotes, right? When we came back in the locker room after warm-ups, I would slide my long knee-high white socks over my game socks. And then I would put my white Pumas on. And then I would hide from him until I was the team's kick returner. And they knew not to talk to me before kickoff. He would not see me until I was standing on the goal line
with the white Pumas.
With the white Pumas on, with the white Pumas and the long socks. And and I had like the little towel that you hang on the white towel that you hang on your hip, on your waist, which he hated them.
I might be in that camp for the first kickoff. I'm like, your hands are sweaty. You haven't played yet. Give me the damn towel.
That's what it was with Harrison. I'm back there and I was doing Dion before Dion. I was back there just shaking it up. Like, okay, let's go. Let's get this party cracking. I'm the party starter. And I took that meant so much to me that I got to set the tone for how the team was going to play that day. And back then, people weren't kicking it out of the end zone. So,
do some damage with it. Taking me a rough estimate, what do you think your punt return yards were? Or kickoff return, I guess.
Kickoff return. Now, kickoff return, I was at about 27 yards. Yeah, to the point where people would stop kicking to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say we were at 27. I mean, you're raking in touchdowns.
Well, so here's what would happen. Opening night, we played against our rivals. Opening kickoff, I should have housed it. I should have housed it up the middle. Broke to the left. It's a kicker and a safety. And I should have beat him.
Sound like the Mornay. The Mornay always talks about 50, the one kicker.
Yeah, 50 plus. We're in their territory. Second kick return, I'm straight up the middle, 40, 45 yards. Third kickoff, I should house that one too. I go up the middle, shake, break to the right numbers. It's me and one dude.
Please tell me it's not the kicker.
No.
Okay.
No, this was their sprinter.
That makes you feel better.
And I still thought I could outrun him.
For sure.
He's actually my cousin.
Go figure.
He's actually my cousin. Actually, so let me give you once your mind blown. His name is Dion Rainey.
Nice.
And Dion and I worked together later in life, but different high schools.
Mm-hmm.
Dion and I ran track against each other the whole shebang. Dion tackles me 63 yards on the return. They decide they're not going to kick to me ever again.
Smart.
Right? Dion Rainey is the older brother of Eric Rainey. Eric Rainey is important to us because Eric Rainey was Caleb Smith's Little League and high school coach.
No way.
Yes. Mind blown?
Yes.
Right? That Eric Rainey coached Caleb Smith in Little League and in high school.
Makes why Caleb Smith is such a dog.
100%. I somewhere I've got the story of Caleb's dad talking to Eric. So Caleb had, he had the heart issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he was a little kid, but he was a tough kid. He's Caleb freaking Smith.
Yes, he is.
And he wanted to play football, and his dad put him out there, and they were like, well, he's too small. He gets out there and he's an absolute dog. They're like, why are you playing my kid? He goes, he's a dog. I'm just letting you know your kid's a dog. And so when Caleb got here, I get a message from my cousin. And Eric and Dion are my first cousins.
Right. You got the Rainey family.
Right. And he says, hey, Caleb Smith is my guy. And I'm like, he's everybody's guy. He goes, no. I coached him when he was in Little League. I coached him all the way up until he was in high school in North Carolina. The world is interesting.
Pretty soon you're going to tell me some bull crap. It was like, oh, yeah, my great-grandpa used to farm with your great-grandpa back in the day in Nebraska. Your trees.
I don't
Unreal.
know. I don't know that that's unlikely.
Do you got farmers?
Yes.
Really?
Well, so understand Virginia, North Carolina, back in the day, everybody was farmers.
True. I guess, yeah.
Everybody was farmers. But the migration, when I got to, we'll go to break. I'll tell the story. Remind me to tell the story. We'll come back. That when I got here and what I found out in connections, there are some absolute Lincoln connections.
All right.
We'll be right back.
When you live a tobacco-free life, you're free to live more fully. You're free to be more active and to breathe easier when you are, to be more present with family and friends, and to enjoy food and drinks more fully without nicotine dulling your senses. Tobacco-free can mean better physical health, mental health, and financial health. Giving up tobacco can give you more life. Learn more at quitnow.ne.gov. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired in association with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Looking for someone to clean out your gutters or aerate your yard this fall? Call Isaac at Woida Outdoor Solutions today at 402-607-9154. Get your gutters cleaned today with a phone call to Woida Outdoor Solutions at 402-607-9154.
Hello, Husker fans. Stop into Zollner Ford Beatrice for all your automotive needs. Whether new or used, car, truck, crossover, SUV, or EV, we've got them. Shop our ever-changing specials at ZollnerofBeatrice.com or give us a call today and go Big Red. We are Zollner Ford Beatrice, Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Looking for someone to clean out your gutters or aerate your yard this fall? Call Isaac at Woida Outdoor Solutions today at 402-607-9154. Get your gutters cleaned today with a phone call to Woida Outdoor Solutions at 402-607-9154.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
This is your year, where your team takes it all the way. Win way more than bragging rights at Warhorse Casino, where your love of the game could put $1 million in your pocket. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with prizes all season long. Weekly cash prizes up to $1,000 cash, season-long leaderboards, and a chance to win $1 million. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP. Brought to you by Canopy Street Market on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
pretty interesting that you go down the rabbit hole. That Harrison's like, well, if I find out you have Nebraska connections, well, I do. I absolutely do. Now, I have cousins in Nebraska, in Lincoln. There have been people who, third or fourth cousins, who through Ancestry and 23andMe, they find out that they have cousins, and then they, if you look like Harrison Orange and you're scrolling down your timeline and then you see Derek Pearson's face pop up, it'll send you some questions.
Because when I asked that, I look at we have like this family photo, and it's the classic, like the Arns farm, and it's a mud hut in the back, and you got like 40 kids in front of it. And when I look at that picture, it's crazy to be. It's cool when you look at that stuff because I'm like, holy crap, that's me. Like those kids that look like me and my brothers. And when you see that stuff, it's again, I'm like, man, you guys were living in a mud hut and you had like 40.
To know, and the best part of all of this is that it makes you seek and it makes you curious. Now,
it makes you appreciate a lot.
Well, here's what I've said, and I will continually say it, that if my family is on the left and the right and in the middle, if my family is rich and poor, it's very difficult for me to blame anybody for anything.
Yeah, I think that's a good human way to look at things.
Right, there's just simplicity. And then I showed you pictures of my fourth great grandfather.
Yeah, what was his name?
Philander.
Philander, thank you, Philander Holcomb.
Yes, Wells,
thank you.
And he was a part of a group. They built what was a hospital that was a receiving ground for injured soldiers who were being transported by train. Because, you weren't traveling by, in the 1800s, people weren't necessarily traveling by plane. So by train, they would put the soldiers on. And so doctors were, and this was a meeting center. And it's right here in Lincoln. Well, and I remember the day I found out about it, I got the notification that, and some folks who are listening can probably tell me what the hospital was and what the hotel was, because Tom Stevens told me.
Yeah.
Like he knew what it was. He drove me right to it. Probably 10 minutes from here. And it is now, I want to say it's like a pet hospital.
Okay. I can rework it.
It sits on a hill. I want to say it's blue, light blue. But it used to be like a receiving center, a medical receiving center right here in Lincoln, for soldiers. And my 4 times uncle and 3 times great grandfather were part of the people who built it back in 1832.
It's just crazy. Now you got another Pearson building in 2025 in Lincoln.
Yeah, well, so again, Pearson was the name given to me at birth. I am a Garner by blood. And the Garner chain goes through, and people miss the boat on what your name is. That you have to accept that you're not just your father's name. You're not just your father and mother's maiden name. You're your mother's mom's maiden name. You're your mother's grandmom's maiden name. You're your mother's father and mother's grandfather's maiden name. You're their mother's maiden name. You're all of these names, and it doubles for every generation.
And when you get to Europe, it gets really crazy. Once you get far enough to where your ancestors were no longer in the American period. Do you know where your ancestors come from over in Europe?
Yes. There's we can do a whole hour on that. Let me tell you. So if I said to you, let's go back 5 generations. 5 generations. And for me, 5 generations takes me back.
Let's see if I can take a swing at
it. So 25 years per generation. So let's go back to 1900. 1900. That's all we're talking about.
Exactly. Like it doesn't take.
That's all we're talking about.
Long before,
right? Or to go back. So in truth, my 4 times great grandparents were born in the 1837.
Okay.
1862. And so for different wars, I can tell you what my families were doing. But in the 1900s, I had 32 grandparents. I had 32 names. 32. If I go back to the War of 1812, I have 512 grandparents. If I go back to the American Revolutionary War, I have almost 2,500 grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back to Christopher Columbus, and we're literally talking about before America was created, but people still lived in America, you can talk about the number of grandparents. And then there's some scientific study of where that number breaks down. You can't continually go back because at some point folks start marrying people that they were connected to.
Mm-hmm.
But that if you go back 200 years, you're talking about, for me, if I go back 300 years, go back to the American Revolution, that if there were 1 million people in America, 100,000 of them are my grandparents.
Like, that's what I think that's the stat right there. I think people just forget that, well, America wasn't that big at one point in time. The population wasn't, we're so much closer related in America than anybody wants to give us credit for.
Again, we are 99.9% the same.
Mm-hmm. And we find that 1% to just absolutely hate.
Just absolutely decide that we're going to be morons. We don't want to pay attention to the science. We don't want to pay attention to what it means. We don't want to pay attention to the fact that we're connected. We don't. We just go into narratives, and it's silly.
Mm-hmm.
It's silly. I am 13% European.
Okay.
Which I think that's actually low for most African Americans.
I'm not entirely sure.
I think that's actually a low percentage. That most African Americans carry a greater percentage of European blood, but I can track, I'm a rare one that I can track my DNA back to the pharaohs. And again, I can track mine directly back to Ramses III, 1186 BC. And then in that, you can start to track his family, again, a royal family.
Mm-hmm.
You can track back, but you're talking about, I want to say that's like 50 generations.
Yeah.
It may be 100. No, it's 100 generations, 120. So I'm going to pull, I had an email recently that broke down these numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get those numbers for you.
Okay.
It'll blow your mind.
Piques my curiosity.
Yep. We will go to break. We'll come back. More chaos after late night.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Orlando with service from Breeze Airways. That's right, nonstop flights to Orlando out of LNK are starting this December. You're now just a flight away from Disney World, Universal Studios, Legoland, and the Space Coast. Stretch out and relax on Breeze with complimentary family seating. Book your magical getaway now at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Over 75% of the patients that come to Limitless Male have been told over and over again by their primary care providers that their testosterone level is fine. Guess what? If you have all the symptoms of low testosterone, you're not fine. Come get a second opinion at Limitless Male. We have helped tens of thousands of men feel optimal again, and we can help you. Stop waiting. Come see the men's health experts. Book your free consult online at limitlessmale.com.
Looking for someone to clean out your gutters or aerate your yard this fall? Call Isaac at Woida Outdoor Solutions today at 402-607-9154. Get your gutters cleaned today with a phone call to Woida Outdoor Solutions at 402-607-9154.
Big news, Nebraska. Love Omaha is now Love Nebraska. This is more than just a new name. It's a tribute to what Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at lovneb.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska insider today.
This is your year, where your team takes it all the way. Win way more than bragging rights at Warhorse Casino, where your love of the game could put $1 million in your pocket. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with prizes all season long. Weekly cash prizes up to $1,000 cash, season-long leaderboards, and a chance to win $1 million. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? Do you need a lawyer you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion? The attorneys at Liberty Law understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Contact us for a free consultation by calling 877-42-LIBERTY. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Hello, Husker fans. Stop into Zollner Ford Beatrice for all your automotive needs. Whether new or used, car, truck, crossover, SUV, or EV, we've got them. Shop our ever-changing specials at ZollnerofBeatrice.com or give us a call today and go Big Red. We are Zollner Ford Beatrice, Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America, on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Derek Pearson. Brought to you by Canopy Street Market.
Welcome back. Hour number 2. We'll take it all the way up to midnight and get you set up for Wednesday. Starts with early break at 6 to drive. Then it'll be Lionheart Live. Anthony Lionheart Smith.
Yeah, I clipped that one story of him when he was fighting Shogun.
Isn't that amazing?
It's hilarious.
Like
pursue how he's like
to have him tell the story, and then to see him. We should probably clip some of his stuff from his work Saturday. Amazing. Like he did a great job. But 402-464-5685. You want to be a part of what we're doing? You're invited in, and you probably want to be a part of it. Can't make you. But as we say, we go down rabbit holes and we stay down the rabbit holes. That's kind of what late night is for. We were talking about that to find out that I have 8 families in Nebraska that are third cousin through fifth cousin, and that there was a military hospital, a military medical hospital here in Lincoln that I want to say like it's a pet hospital now.
Yeah,
and it sits on a hill. You could almost see it, so they could see it had some military standing of why it was on the hill.
Makes sense. You got the train track running,
but it's
up there.
right here in Lincoln, right? So near train track. Train tracks run behind this pet hospital. But it just led me down the way, and I said because we figure out that we think of ourselves in
my life, my vacuum,
relative proximity, family. But my brain has been changed. It's been, and I was sharing with Harrison during the break that, so here's the way we should look at it. And my next TED will be about my conversation with my cousin from 3,000 years ago.
That'd be good.
Right?
I'm a nerd for this stuff too. So I'm also just biased and I love knowing, like, history is always the thing for me. Like, man, the more we can do that, even if it's your own family history, like you're not curious.
Well, to find out that you, I mean, again, you know, your grandparent was in one of the oldest murder mysteries recorded. That they have the court reports on the original papyrus to tell the story of his assassination. And it's crazy, but some of the names, you've heard the names, they're mythical. Osiris, the goddess Osiris. That's my grandmother. That is my 50 times great grandmother. Right? And you started, well, wait a minute. What? That they were living in 1200 BC. That he was the last great American pharaoh. Now, how you get to him was understanding that, okay, so by blood, my father is a Garner. My mother is a Harris. But they are, if you go to my grandparents, there's Garner, Willoughby, Heaton, Harris. And then if you go to my great-grandparents, then you're adding Willoughby, you're adding Green, you're adding, like, it spreads. That if I go back, and again, I don't have a problem telling people I was born in 1962, that my mother was born in 1930. My grandmother was born in 1908. Her mother was born in 1887. Her grandmother before that, 1862. That in 1862, now I think of America in 1862, that one of my cousins, my fourth cousin, is the person who named this town. Abraham Lincoln. Right? His fourth cousin once removed. So he's the child of a fourth cousin. But in that era, I had 16 names. There were 16 great grandparents who had to come together perfectly to make me as I am. Right? So all those talents and skills and personality traits passed down for generations.
Perfect spot, perfect time, right? Everything works out perfectly just for you to be here.
Think of what your parents had to go to be in the same place to create Harrison Arms, and what their grandparents had to get through to be, and the stories become greater because the world was more spread out and less accessible. If I go back to 1837, or let's go back to the War of 1812, that I had 128 5 times great grandparents from all over the place. If I go back to 1762, I had 507 times great grandparents, 512. When the Pilgrims landed on Plymouth Rock in 1620, I had somewhere in the vicinity of 16,000 4 times great grandparents.
I wonder how many were chilling on the rock.
Quite a few.
I was going to say, is it
was
still some left over in Europe.
I am a son of Plymouth, of this like daughter American Revolution. I'm a son of the American Revolution. Becky is a daughter of the American Revolution. She tracks her family directly to the Mayflower.
Really?
Yeah, like she's got certificate and the whole shebang. I never got my certificate. I just never applied for it. But she's a daughter of the American Revolution. I'm a son of the American Revolution. But I'm also the grandson, the 4-time grandson of slave owners and slaves.
Mhm.
And that's where the blending happened. Or at least in some cases, that's where the blending happened. And I know, like, literally, I can talk about James Neblett of Mecklenburg County, Virginia, who made a child with his slave and created a blended family.
Mhm.
That house that they lived in, that mansion that they lived in, still exists. So does the house that the slave lived in and raised the kids in. As a matter of fact, it's a museum now.
Really?
It's a museum. People pay to go into this plantation. So you have to accept the good and the bad, right? And I've told the story that, American Civil War, that there were people, there was a battle in Alexandria, Virginia.
Well, that's always why I would
Right.
think, like, if you really want to call someone an enemy, you have to go back far enough in time, and you'll get to the point where you have to call your own family members enemies. And do you really want to live in that world?
Well, I mean, I can literally tell you the story if you're interested. And it is, let me find it. Because in Alexandria, Virginia, at a hotel, was captured by the Confederate Army.
Mhm.
Flag was raised on the top of this hotel. Union soldiers went to the White House, told Abraham Lincoln that, well, if you look across the Potomac, you will see a flag, a Confederate flag raised. What he wants to do? He sent the army over to take down the flag. Send a group over. They had to run upstairs, get no elevator back in the day. They had to run upstairs, get to the rooftop, take the flag down. As he's coming down, makes his way back down the stairs of this hotel, he is shot and killed. He is shot and killed with the flag. The person that was shot and killed was my fourth cousin. The person who shot him from the Confederate Army was also my fourth cousin. So when you talk about the things that happen in this country, I cannot finger point. I can't go you, them, they. It's us.
That's the best way to say it.
Right. It removes a whole lot of the conversation that, us versus them.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's no us versus them.
Yeah,
it's just us.
Always been us.
It's just us.
Go back and look at history, and you really realize it's just always been us. We've had moments where we can live in absolute pure bliss, like no nothing. Just doesn't work out that way. And sometimes I think you can tell me if I'm wrong on this. Sometimes I wonder if we give ourselves, you want to be proud of being human, give ourselves too much credit to where we think we're so perfect that we are willing to call out atrocities that, like, or not even atrocities, things that we accuse of being atrocities at like such a loose level that we have to remember, like, our entire human history is not a clean slate by any means.
No,
and we got to be humble about who we understand we are.
But this is why you have to have the discussions, and you have to talk to people, and you have to meet people, and you have to go through and have conversation with people. You have to go back in history. You have to go and learn. You have to go and share yourself. You have to go and explain yourself. You have to go through all those things. And if you don't know, then you can stay in the dark. But that's where people say, there's a lot of conversation about, woke and not woke. But the reality is you either want to know or you don't want to know. And there are people that would rather stay in the dark about it and say, okay, I don't know that we're connected. I don't know that we could be related. I don't know that we're cousins. I don't know that we're 99%. We're made up from the same 99% DNA. All of us,
mm-hmm.
Identical. Okay. So, and if you go back far enough, then, you can find the commonalities. I just happened to find out that, Civil War, that my cousins shot each other and helped start the war. Like, I can't blame anybody. I can't blame.
Well, how could you?
I can't
to live in their shoes and understand what they went through. It's impossible.
Different times, right?
Mm-hmm.
I cannot blame my. I have to accept that my grandfathers did things. My grandmothers did things. They went through some different stuff, and then you just have to go, okay. Whew, we did a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I also found out that also I could identify that I am finding direct lineage from the Massa tribe and the Mafa tribes and the Kotoko people from Cameroon. And that is the core of who my on my maternal side goes back 2,000 years. 2,000 years. So, but also, as I found out that, and I shared with Harrison so he could see that I have relatives from all over the world, English and Scottish royalty who married Italian royalty, somebody, a king's daughter, right? A princess that they've lived in Castle. My 15th great grandfather, Baron William de Willoughby of Ravenswood Castle.
I want to ask you if you got any inheritance on any of these castles.
16 great grandmother, Margaret de Norwich of Benningham Castle. My 25th great grandfather, Sir Patrick de Bourguignon, which was one of the great wine regions. I could share that with Kevin Meyer and probably get some stories.
100%.
31st great grandfather, Ernest de Brise, who, again, we're talking about 876, the year 876, not 1876, 876. My 36th great grandfather, Duke of Spoleto, Theo von Spoleto. And it tells you these names that they carry. And then some 3,200 years ago, Ramses III, the last great pharaoh of Egypt. And you can also go through and lose your mind over it. You want to talk about, like, I pick one night a week, and I pick a branch of my family, and I just go on the search. I go down the rabbit hole because, one, it forces me to learn. Okay, so some of these castles were beat down by wars, World War I bombings of castles in Scotland and
who knows?
Germany,
Ravenwood could have been under siege for 3 months.
Italy, right? You go through and you learn that, my goodness gracious, this is what it was and what people were fighting for.
And your relatives are sitting in the castle hunkering down, or some of them were, anyways.
Right, like to know that you really don't know.
I need to start practicing that. That'd be fun. I mean, it wouldn't even be homework. It'd just be interesting to go trace family members.
Well, I mean, just going back to get enough basis, right? To pay attention. I mean, I showed you the tomb that Ramses III is buried in. This is right. His tomb was right next to King Tut.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about in the same era. But you're talking about the last great Egyptian pharaoh, battling, fighting off the
Well, he was in the end of the Bronze Age, right?
Right.
And then it was the Bronze Age collapse into the Dark Age.
But then you have to go back and you have to research, okay, what does this mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you start to become informed. And then you go, okay, man, like, why wasn't I taught this? Why did I not know these things? Well, there's no reason for people to teach you where you come from, or otherwise why would you know? Why would you want to know? Until you want to know. And then you go, okay, well, now you're never going to tell me who I'm not.
Yeah.
Nobody can ever tell me that I don't have a say and I don't matter. Like, to find out that Charles Drew, who was a pioneer in plasma, the collecting of plasma and the collection of blood and identifying markers and all those things, was black and was killed after a car accident, and they would not allow them to use the blood plasma treatment that he created, that he invented.
Oh.
My first school was Charles Drew Elementary. Charles Drew was my fourth cousin. I didn't know that until I was 58 years old.
Charles Drew put some money in my pocket too with the plasma donations.
Right.
So how far that's gone.
Right. That you have to, if I knew that I was related to Abraham Lincoln, if I knew I was related to George Washington, if I knew I was related, again, I'm the same distance away from Donald Trump as I am Barack Obama. What do you want from me? Like, what do you want me to say?
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay.
That's a lot of people.
Like, we have to do better. We have to do better. I can't say they. We have to do better, and to actually want us to do better, for each other. But learning this stuff certainly is what is required for people to go, okay, man, I didn't plan on going back in history and learning this stuff. I didn't even know that I needed to know. I didn't know I needed to know any of this stuff, but I'm glad I did. Like, I have family in Nebraska. I didn't know I had family in Nebraska. There was no reason for me to.
It might have been the last state I picked.
Well, but
Alaska, then Nebraska.
So, but I didn't tell you that Bernard Day is my first cousin.
No.
Husker basketball player Bernard Day. Literally grew up in a house that I have been to 10 times in my life before I was in high school. And we found that out when I was releasing my book, and I posted it on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a message from Bernard Day. I didn't know who Bernard Day was from Adam. And he said, "Hey, do you know Red Jenkins?" And I was like, "Yeah, Coach Red, like that's my mentor. That's my guy." So Red Jenkins is a legendary basketball coach in Fairfax.
You mentioned him before.
Right, Coach Tommy. He's been on the station. He's been on the station. Legendary guy. Coach, just star after star after star. And I said, "Yeah, that's my guy." And he goes, "Well, he says you're out here and you're a good dude, so let's get together." And so we, in the message, like, let's get together for coffee. This is when we were at the old station. Like, let's get together for coffee. That Saturday, this is like a Tuesday. We're supposed to get together for coffee the following Tuesday. That Friday, he sends me another message. He goes, "Hey, is this you?" And it's a picture of the book. And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Hey, how'd you get a picture of my book?" And he goes, "We're related." He goes, "That's my grandfather." I was like, "Shut up." He goes, "That's my father." Like that, you don't understand. I'm like, Gloria's, he told me his mama. I was like, holy crap. And so we got together. We met at Brewski's, as a matter of fact, sat on the patio. He's from DC, played basketball there in the area. Didn't know I had family out here. No idea. And there's no, again, if you understand it, there's a story. This is the way the story works. So, and as the story is told, that there is a family that were fighting against each other in the Civil War. And when we go to break, I'll show you the pictures. There's actually a video of them. And it copies, it has a character drawing of them meeting at the bottom of the stairs, but it has their actual pictures. And this is the way the story, it says the actual photographs show Colonel Elmer Ellsworth of Field and Staff, 11th New York Infantry Regiment, Marshall House, at the corner of King and Pitt Streets. Now, this is King Street is like O Street.
Mm-hmm.
In Alexandria, Virginia, the scene of the assassination of Colonel Ellsworth on May 24th, 1861, and Lieutenant Francis Brownell of the Confederate Army. They were both blood relation to me. Two white guys from back east.
Mm-hmm.
Who knew? Who knew? You can't know those things. But you can write it down. Francis Brownell, who's of Company A. Yeah, it's pretty crazy stuff.
If you think about it long enough, it'll blow your mind. Especially if you go down the rabbit holes of your own family. I'd encourage anybody to go do this.
Why would you not want to know who your people are? I can go through from Shirley MacLaine, Shirley Temple, Lucille Ball, Princess Diana. Yeah, I'll share some of the graphs some of the details that were sent to me that showed who the common ancestor was and how far away they are, and you could go as far, 13 cousin, right? But in that pocket of 2nd through 6th, there's some names.
It's there's
some names.
The cool thing about it is like you'll find names, and then you'll also find some people in your family that you're not going to find in the history books, but you're going to be like,
pretty cool people.
Whoa, like you did the damn thing, and I'm here for it. Like you lived through.
I'm fifth cousins with Sacagawea.
That's one. Like you think about what she went through, and
sixth cousin with Johnny Appleseed. And you know how they say the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon?
Mm-hmm.
I only need 4. I'm fourth cousin with
Kevin Bacon, Johnny Appleseed, and Sacagawea.
But think about the really cool stories that wait for you if you're just willing to look for them.
And just everyone has them. If you're alive in 2025, you're going to have some stories.
You're going to have some stories. You're going to have some really positive ones, and then you're going to have some straight lunatics.
Yep.
Who share those creepy tendencies. Well, they pass them along. We'll go to break on this. My whole purpose and my whole reason for saying the names of these relatives is to evoke them, to honor them. Because I'm not me without all of these people, all of these grandparents, right? Where does the skill to write come from? Where's the athletic skill come from? Where does dancing skill come? Where do these talents that are in you, where do they come from? And the answer is there is an ancestor of yours who purposefully planted that seed for you. And then every time you use that skill, you honor them. And whatever version of heaven you believe in, they're smiling.
I'm thinking of like some DP ancestor sitting in the Coliseum at Rome, and everyone's like, "This guy's here every damn week."
Right. And just to go and to go, isn't this awesome? That look at our boy. Like, look at our boy. And every time you say your grandparents' name, this is why you say the names of the people you care about, because if we're spiritual creatures, then those spirits hear them. They know that you're speaking of them. I talk about my mother, Queen Elizabeth. I talk about my stepdad. I talk about my father, James Garner. I never met, but I thank him. That's what you should do. And I think that's the part we miss, is that we spend time chasing negative ghosts. Like, we'll chase the bad ghosts, but we won't chase the angels.
And when we succeed, it's all me.
Yeah. Well, none of this is me.
Yeah.
Now, all of this is greater than I. This is not about me. But I'm telling the story so that people will become curious about themselves. Like, I want you to go find your people. Like, I can't wait to hear. My favorite thing about all this is that I get to give all of this to my grandson.
Yeah.
My grandson now knows where he comes from. Nobody could ever tell my grandson that you weren't born for greatness.
And he walks a little bit differently for it.
He walks 100% different. We'll have more when we come back.
Are your feet just killing you and you feel like all hope is lost? Say goodbye to discomfort and hello to pain relief at Brown's Shoe Fit. They offer expert advice along with high-quality products to help you find the right solution tailored to your specific needs. Need a different width? Not a problem. Brown's carries a wide range of widths in store. Brown's Shoe Fit on 66th and Q in Lincoln.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
For all your automotive needs, Whether new or used, car, truck, crossover, SUV, or EV, we've got them. Shop our ever-changing specials at ZollnerofBeatrice.com or give us a call today and go Big Red. We are Zollner Ford of Beatrice, Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect.
You've been accused of a crime and don't know where to turn. At Liberty Law Group, we understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you're up against the legal system, you need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. Liberty Law's experienced trial attorneys are committed to the defense of liberty for those accused. Don't let a criminal charge ruin your life. Call Liberty Law Group at 877-42-LIBERTY. Advocates you need, trial attorneys you can trust. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Experience an electric vehicle firsthand at LES's EV Ride and Drive, September 28th at the LES Operations Center. Registration is open now, but spots are limited. Visit les.com/drive to reserve your drive.
Fall is here, and so are cooler temps, darker evenings, and slick roads. Is your vehicle ready for the change in seasons? At A1 Automotive, we've got you covered. From tire checks, brake inspections, batteries, and heater systems, we make sure your car is road ready for the Nebraska winters ahead. Don't wait until the first frost. Schedule your fall car care checkup today and drive with confidence all season long. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People Seeding Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it twice a day.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it in the morning and before dinner.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it, and share it with my doctor. Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor.
Now that I know my blood pressure numbers, I talked with my doctor. We're getting those numbers down.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it. Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Learn more at manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP, brought to you by Canopy Street Market on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We thank y'all for hanging out. Harrison, I just showed you some things.
It's showing me a lot of things tonight.
Right? That you saw my cousins. Right now.
I saw your Pharaoh's tomb, DP.
Right.
You showed me Pharaoh's tomb.
I mean, but think about that, though. So, your people, your original people, are not from here.
Mm-hmm.
So, you should probably know where they're from. You should probably know the towns that they're in. As a matter of fact, the neighborhoods that they came from.
Yeah, that's my homework. You get this whole. I mean, we did 2 hours, but
right.
Like, I'm intrigued right now. I know it's Germany, but that's kind of about it.
But that's like saying they're from America.
Exactly. It's throw a needle, at a haystack, and
again,
there you go.
I shared with you 2 German castles that this could exist. It goes back, and I need to get the tribal pronunciation of Ashkenazi Jew.
All you on
I
that.
don't think it's not. I don't think it's Ashkenazi. But I think that's the space. But to have that sort of thing in place, and then to have Italian dukes and barons, German barons, and English and Scottish lords,
Egyptian pharaohs,
to just
dukes.
look, right? Tobacco farmers in North Carolina, corn farmers in Omaha,
and to the worst of it, slave owners, traders, pirates.
We
all got a little bit of it.
Vikings, the whole shebang bang, right? New Zealand, Hawaii, yeah, the whole shebang. And if you
is there, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off there. Go ahead.
No, but if you're curious, right, that because all of these grandparents, what it will tell you is how many of your grandparents were from a region, a DNA pool, not necessarily just a region of the world, of the globe, but from a DNA gene pool origin, right? Common threads that they will say, of the 100, right? So imagine this way, and the way it was explained to me, imagine of the 100. Now, again, we now know that that's, if you go back years, that's 5,000. So for every 100, 43 of those grandparents are from Nigeria, or at least areas. Now you can break down the different tribes of Nigeria, and they've done those into groups of 4. Masa, Mafa, Kotoku, like I know the tribal, and I know that I've been invited to come back and claim citizenship to these tribal communities. The Bantu people, you have to really start to go, whoa, like, let me do the work. And you go, okay, but it's the Western Bantu from South Central and Southwestern Africa. So Southwestern Africa. These are rainforest people.
And that's the whole timeline itself.
Right. All the
Africa.
way back 3,000 years ago. Right. So we have those.
Because the trees, it's not so damn dry, I don't think, at that point in time, where there's actually forests to be had.
From Benin and Togo. Right. Wait a minute. What are we talking about? Then you learn of the Dahomey Gap, a strip that divides several regions that was taken over, the Weme, the Yue, that were taken over and colonized by France and Great Britain. But this is the terrestrial part of West Africa. Right? And to say that of all of your grandparents, 12% of them are from this area, this region, this part of the world. Then you get into Ivory Coast and Ghana, that's 70%. Mali, 6%. So 6 of every 100 grandparents. Cameroon, which is the core, if you go back the longest space, the folks from Cameroon were some of the tribes that we mentioned.
That makes sense, because that's northeast Africa.
Right.
So
Senegal, Central Nigeria, France, the Netherlands, Yorubaland, which, again, you want to spin your head, is to have to go down and look at these places, which is southwestern Nigeria. These people were in the slave trade to the Gulf, so New Orleans, became Cajun folks, English and French in the Creole space.
Cameroon's northwest. I had to correct myself. It said northeast.
Right. But I mean, again, think that if you're just thinking you're German or you're just Nebraskan, you've missed the fact that, wait a minute, the Netherlands, I got people in the Netherlands. Well, we took count of 72 grandparents in the last 500 years who are from the Netherlands, Dutch. My Dutch grandparents. One was a duke. The castle still stands.
Have you seen it?
Yes, the pictures are there. The castle that sits on the on the coast of Aruba.
No way.
The castle, it's amazing stuff.
I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna see if I got more castles than you.
Right.
I might be the jester in the court, but I'm gonna count it.
Right. The indigenous of North America, and again, when you talk about the base of it, these are folks that were the Indians of the Great Northeast.
Okay.
Right. And but you think in space, right? The Iroquois. So I come from grandfathers, Iroquois and grandfathers and grandmothers.
What I'm
Iroquois.
Blanking on that. People.
Native American.
Indian. Okay.
Native American. Sweden. Scotland. Wales. Philippines.
You got to be like the least amount of
Philippines.
Irish.
No, the 3%.
3%? That's more than I would have thought.
3% of all of my grandparents.
I would think I'm lowball on Irish. There's zero Irish in you.
No,
I mean there is clearly, but
no. But here's the thing: Irish, Scotland, Wales. But those are the folks who came to America.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
And so they repopulated in full. Now a percentage, but you're talking about the group at its core. Where were they from?
Mm-hmm.
And they tell you that. But then you also understand that what happens is they become a blend of a bunch of other things. The most of my grandparents come from Nigeria, but you're only talking about less than half. Like 2 out of every 5 of my grandparents come from that region. And there are 16 different regions that they came from.
Mm-hmm. So,
hey, that's like saying they're from Nebraska, but some are from Kearney, some are from Omaha, some are from Lincoln, some Scotts Bluff. Like it's a little spread out, but imagine that because it's Africa and its size, that Nigeria's size compared to America, you're talking about like 11 states. So
yeah, I mean Africa's huge.
Right.
The map never does it justice.
Right. And then Egypt, Yemen, Kemet. And you find out those things that you have to be curious in it. So the real thing is just to get people to be curious about the possibility of what your connections are.
If you go far back enough and you get to the Silk Road era, you might end up in Asia with some of your relatives. Like realistically.
No. Well, the migration, I didn't know from a scientific standpoint what the migration truly meant. That in a different version of this globe, the continents didn't exist as they currently do.
Yeah.
So when you talk about migration, and then you get into the real sort of history where humanity is beginning, you got to go to archaic humans and the depth behind that, the different, we think Homo erectus, Homo sapiens, but then you're getting into a whole nother space of science. And most people just aren't prepared to go down those lines and figure out, well, what was here before we were here?
Mm-hmm.
And how would you identify them and where do those people come from? But as far back as I can go, and it's pretty rare that I can go back 3,000 years. Most people can't go back 3,000 years and have any real connection to who their people were or are. I actually have some, again, if they do not embalm the pharaohs, the DNA isn't available or trackable or sustainable. But again, I can show you the picture of the great pharaoh that after his assassination, that his son almost cut his head off.
What does his
own son. But it was a son of a third wife.
Wanted the power.
Who wanted the power, right? And again,
hey, buddy, Dark Age is coming. I don't know if you know that yet.
Right.
Not a good time to take the reins.
Right. Well, but you know what you know.
Yep.
So in that space, he needed to be the next great pharaoh and have this. Well, they used a specific cloth to hold his neck and head together. That cloth was still there when they opened the tomb, which allowed them to pull DNA from the cloth and identify not only who he was, but it can literally, in the trial notes, because the papyrus would go back and tell you what happened, that the degree of cutting, how they cut him, that he also had a toe that was chopped off because a blade fell on his foot and cut off a toe, right? But they kept it because he was royalty. He was a pharaoh, so they kept it all together. But the cloth is still around the mummy.
Yeah, I'm sure they don't want to take that off.
Well, they did at some point to evaluate.
I bet you they took like a sliver of it. There's no way. I wouldn't think they would unwrap the whole thing.
Well, they had to, because in order to find how deep the cut was.
Oh, true. Yeah.
So, but literally in the trial notes, it talks about it again, the descriptive version of it, and that, there was a note taker because it was royalty, and it talked about how deep the cut was, that the blade actually reached his spine from the reverse angle. So yeah, it's let me tell you, all the way down the rabbit hole to listen to some of the notes of the trial, and then to have the scientists break down. And again, think of how blessed I am that I can go to YouTube and Ramses III trial or autopsy. You can go back and have actual scientists breaking this down, because it's historical in a sense that you can't go back that far back and tell these stories without documentation. Well, you have documentation. How many people can say that? Well, I'm pretty sure there are other people who can say it.
Yep.
They just don't know that they can say it. So we'll go to break. We'll close out, get y'all set up for Wednesday.
There's no better way to spark a child's imagination than to get lost in the adventure of a good book. I'm Jenny Benson, president of NSEA. Working together, parents and teachers can help every child succeed. You can help by reading to your child and let your child read to you. Encourage reading in your home and make it a priority. Make reading fun and a time that you and your child look forward to spending together.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association on this station.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Discounted many of our late model John Deere combines. Get thousands in discounts and upgrade now. Plus, you could save even more with interest rates starting as low as 1.9% on select units. Low interest rates combined with our huge discounts, there's not a better time to buy. Visit acres.com for all the details. That's AKRS.com. Restrictions apply. Offer ends September 30th, 2025. Subject to approved financing. Offer may change at any time without notice.
Over 75% of the patients that come to Limitless Male have been told over and over again by their primary care providers that their testosterone level is fine. Guess what? If you have all the symptoms of low testosterone, you're not fine. Come get a second opinion at Limitless Male. We have helped tens of thousands of men feel optimal again, and we can help you. Stop waiting. Come see the men's health experts. Book your free consult online at limitlessmale.com.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
Men in Nebraska can be set in their ways, but they can also be quick to change their minds. Just 10 minutes can be enough to step back and rethink the life-ending decision of suicide. If you have a friend or family member who's struggling with depression, talk to them about temporarily storing their guns away from their home. Paid for by the University of Nebraska Public Policy Center. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
This is how we do every day. We be grinding, and if you want to come and text us,
if you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music.
This is Mommy's jam.
then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
We've been hunting these fields north of Kearney since high school. My buddy Ryan has always been my wingman, the life of the party. But I saw a change, and he got really down. Talked about his life being worthless.
If you know someone who's struggling, talk to them about temporarily storing their guns away from their home, taking care of friends and neighbors. It's what we do in Nebraska. Paid for by the University of Nebraska Public Policy Center, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
When you live a tobacco-free life, you're free to live more fully. You're free to be more active and to breathe easier when you are, to be more present with family and friends, and to enjoy food and drinks more fully without nicotine dulling your senses. Tobacco-free can mean better physical health, mental health, and financial health. Giving up tobacco can give you more life. Learn more at quitnow.ne.gov. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska, aired in association with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're listening to One on One with DP, brought to you by Canopy Street Market on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, we did give the disclaimer that, once again, late night, we don't know what rabbit hole we're going to go down.
I think it was probably like negative 600 heading in tonight. Or excuse me, plus 1,000.
Yeah, like all the way down, right? All the way down the rabbit hole. So here's some relatives. Betty White is a cousin.
Rest in peace.
Princess Diana, 7th cousin. Winston Churchill, 7th cousin. Babe Ruth,
nice,
8th cousin. Jackie Onassis, Jackie Kennedy, 8th cousin. Mr. Rogers.
No kidding.
7th cousin.
Mr. Rogers, Babe Ruth, and Winston Churchill.
7th cousin. He stays on fire.
Dream Squad.
6th cousin. John Wayne. Walt Disney, 9th cousin. Judy Garland, 9th cousin. Batman. Adam West.
Which one? Oh, Adam West. Okay.
Adam West, 10th cousin. Bob Ross, the painter.
Yeah.
10th cousin. Elvis Presley, 10th cousin. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, 8th cousin. Ginger Rogers, 8th cousin. Helen Keller, 9th cousin. Abraham Lincoln, 4th cousin, twice removed. Queen Elizabeth, 5th cousin. I'm royal. Don't trip. The Wright brothers, 6th cousin. Harper Lee, who wrote To Kill a Mockingbird, 4th cousin. Lucille Ball, 6th cousin. Emily Dickinson, writer, 6th cousin. Jane Austen, great 5th cousin. Susan B. Anthony, 5th cousin. Yeah, those are just some. Isn't that just like, if you really want to just giggle at how crazy this stuff can be?
I mean, you can go look at it yourself on your own history. You'll have what was real quick here? What was the most like wild goose out of the bunch that this guy went over to? Is there one that really sticks out? Like, man, this guy just did his own thing completely.
Well, I mean,
you're kind of all over the map. Yeah,
like
Johnny Appleseed
is probably the one cousin go, you wild cousin.
You just said, I'm gonna plant a bunch of trees and that's it, huh?
Like, what were you doing?
You're gonna become a damn legend for it.
You're gonna be one of one. You're gonna be one of one. So yeah, that's kind of the deal. All right, listen, everybody. Appreciate y'all hanging out if you did. Hopefully you got something from it. Hopefully you dive down the rabbit hole yourself and go and find out some things that make you feel better about yourself and make you know yourself a little bit better. And then know other people a little bit better. Remember, work from the 99%. We'll get through the 1%. That's what I promise you. See you tomorrow.
Hi, this is Tom Osborne. Join me on September 23rd and dine at your favorite local Renza in support of Teammates Mentoring. 10% of Renza sales on September 23rd will benefit your local Teammates Mentoring chapter. Teammates Mentoring helps students reach their full potential by providing a caring adult mentor to meet with them once a week in school. Thank you for your support of Teammates Mentoring. We will see you at Runza on September 23rd.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
Ashiro's work is never done. You care for the house, the kids, and our future. We're so grateful for all you do. Now, it's time to care for yourself and save a little more for retirement.